Well, it's that time again, guys, and welcome everybody to week two of daily life of a trash PC player in Wuwa. So, so as y'all may know, the other day, yesterday specifically, I believe, we actually just had the release of 2.4. I actually will not be playing that in here, because it will probably take quite a bit for me to actually upload it, because just timing and the scheduling is not looking the best, let's just say. Um, so it's going to take a bit for me to actually play around with some stuff, but um, I was looking to see if I could upgrade Cardathea. I don't know if I want a story spoiler, but if I want to upgrade her, that's what we're going to have to do, and that's what I was looking into right now. Because we did actually get Cardathea, as y'all may know, after suffering through a heart-wrenching two-in-one character. So, yeah, no. We got Ling Yang, as we got Cordelia, so that kind of hurt my soul, for a hot second there. But we did get her, and we also did get our weapon as well. We haven't actually put it on her. Whose weapon is this? Blood Pact Pledge. Oh no, this is her weapon. Whose weapon is this? What? When did I get this? When Rover error casts. Oh, this is Rover's weapon. I understand now. I didn't. I realized, dude. I forgot that I needed. That's Rover. It's Rover's weapon. I forgot about it.
Speeding up.
But as it is now, I do believe we need another support because I believe you can probably run Rover like Rover, or we can probably run Yang Yang. But Yang Yang is a bit of a technical support, not as much as Error Rover is, because I do believe he actually applies error erosion, but again, it's not quite as good as what I believe to be like Rover, right? But let me double check. I am. Because by the way, y'all may notice it's smooth now. Again, the best way to play this game if you're like running in dog shit times is you go to again your display, and you go to your kind of like display settings, and you put that as low as you can. So 1920 or 19 yeah, I believe it's 1920 by 1080p is what the resolution is on most standard screens. I lowered that to the lowest, which is 800 by 600, which I found out is a little bit below 720. Yeah, kudos to what I thought. I believe it's 600p is what we're streaming at or recording at. But it handles it much better. And it has been the only way for me to actually play this game without feeling like I'm playing on with sand. I mean, it looks grainy already, so there's not much to say there. But we also did get the skins finally, and they're actually much cheaper than I expected. I don't think they're quite as significantly, not necessarily priced, but significantly. What's the word? They're as significant as other ones. Yeah, I don't think they're as significant. Not necessarily priced, but like they're kind of an in between these two, I believe. Yeah, it's kind of like in between price because I think they realized this is definitely way too much. This with the discount is fairly fine, but the fact that they released two cosmetics and two cosmetics that are just straight up buyable cosmetics from 5-star characters, but mind you. But this is why I'm like, yeah. So people just let's assume, right? So people invested, right? Quote unquote invested, right? They spent what I would believe to be what we're doing some quick math at a very, very, very unfriendly terms, right? So 80 pulls times 160 is 12,800. On average, most people to get a character spend 24,000 or about 25,600 on the worst on what I believe to be the worst case scenario. Some people perhaps spend 12,800 at the worst case scenario. On one of the best case scenarios, perhaps even less. But again, I saw Techno's video. That kind of hard to see. But at least 70, probably 140 pulls is what you're kind of looking at. So between 24,000 to approximately around like 20,000 ish, give or take. 20,000 asteroid or Lunites, right? So you spend that, and then if you did spend Lunites, because you have gotten every single character before this, back to back to back.
Farther destinations
Um,
together.
I don't think it shows here. If we got believed to the album, where's the data link? Based on their gallery.
I shall have no one.
If we go through the gallery, I'm still missing quite a few characters. Like honestly,
adventure?
I'm still surprised I don't have Encore because I believe she actually would go well with my Shangli team. But setting that aside, so we have Encore, Yiyan, Yinlin, Jeja, Jinxie, Shorekeeper. I have been skipping quite a few characters from between here. I believe
I
it.
shall have no one tarnishing victory's honor.
So I'm thinking of getting her as well. But as you can see, I have been skimming between a couple of things, right? So one, two, three. That's 3 characters I skipped. Someone on her, she was painful to someone on. I summoned on her like over basically like a year ago now. This point. It's kind of insane actually. Has it really been that long? Yeah, June 22nd is when I summoned her. So from her banner, I got him for free. Then someone on her, skipped her.
Would you
Skip 1, 2, 3, 4 banners.
To which stage will
Which is usually like 2 to 3 months.
To which stage
Then got her. Back in March. Again, wait. Man, some of these timelines are kind of crazy. I actually cannot believe it's been that long. 6/12. This is July, so it's almost been a year since I actually got Changli. That's kind of strong, to be honest with you.
I shall have no one. Anything I can.
But yeah, no, I got her. I got them, and I'm like, I have been. If you have gotten right, this is where it gets crazy. Let's actually do like not necessarily super mathematics, right? But because you had like 2 to 3 characters. So if we go up the assumption that you have spent on, now I wouldn't necessarily even like last 3 banners, because Chichana like is like a good character to kind of have with Cardithia, including Rover. Here's the thing, right? All I'm gonna say is that if you spend on even one character, you're already down 24,000. If you spend it on Lunite, it doesn't make a difference to you. It's like $15 on the drain. Now, that's assuming you didn't already buy it, and most people get some currency, right? I've gotten currency. I still have 20,000 asteroid. I still have this shit, and I have two from like this stuff. I'm suffering through it. I'm like, what? I'm gonna watch a match where it just get pulled out of my hands. I'm like, I don't know what I can do with this. But again, I think they give us enough time. They give us like enough rewards. Man, like as a cosmetic enjoyer, I have this like, because I did actually I think again, we're back to the cosmetics thing. I don't think I actually uploaded the video yet, if at all. I originally was supposed to upload a Nikke video, but I just did not feel like uploading it at all. Since it just, I wouldn't necessarily say it didn't feel like real. I would certainly stay more along the lines. It just didn't feel right for me. And nope, hold on. I'm gonna go to the whimpering, morning eggs. I just didn't feel like it was right of me to play it.
Listen up.
I might actually hold on. Oh, right, hold on. I think that's Frazzle. Frazzle debuff.
Going against wind.
What I wanted to do is swap my team a little bit around. I don't know why I have it like this. I've had it like this for quite a while, but I completely forgot what I needed like this, so I can do like a rotationless 1, 2, and then 3.
Hands off my friend. Roll for me. Let me be your blade.
Oh, well, we fight this. So, Nikke recently had a collab, and I haven't been playing it because, pretty simply put, I just haven't. I just didn't feel like.
Leave it to me. The fruit of evolution. Shape the shapeless.
It would be like, I think necessarily hypocritical, but it just
Who's the caged bird now?
it wouldn't feel right.
Feathers.
Take 4.
Now, why wouldn't it feel right?
Mine's own.
Now here's the thing, right? With everything going on, and I don't know if you guys are aware of this, because again, I
Plan with convention, then conquer.
have
by
been playing Nikke
ingenuity.
for a little bit. I think we're closing into about a year now. A little bit closer to a year now. I like the game. I enjoy playing the game. But because here's the thing, right? I originally thought there was no official response from the Nikke team, but there was a response. It was, I think, genuinely probably one of the most deal with it. We're about to deal with enrichment moments, kind of thing, and I was genuinely troubled because I'm like, I like the game. What just happened? And in all honesty, it just feels not necessarily. I can do my dailies. I can log in. I can do whatever. I think the mini game for that I will be kind of covering it. I don't know if today or when, but I will be releasing that on Monday for sure. But we just went through an entire. I went through an entire ordeal where I wasn't necessarily having an existential crisis, but I was having a bit of a crisis of just what do I do, right? Because I was really going to upload, right, a video. I have a video uploaded and ready to kind of send out, but I was like, man, I could not find for the life of me any response from Shift of officially. But I was wrong. There was a response, and it was kind of shit. And nobody has really been talking about it, and it feels like people kind of left their brain on red and just went on to their day to just play the Stellar Blade collab, because, of course, most people don't really care. And I think that's fine. It's fine not to really care, because it is a gacha game, but at the same time, if you don't really listen to some of the changes that they are having, because that's kind of the end all be all, right? So the drama that came along with Nikke, right, was that they got a quality of life improvement
Listen up. Let me be your
that
blade.
Global didn't get. And when that happens, if you don't speak about it, people are just gonna take it without a grain of salt.
Luminous energy. Let the winds roar.
Or not necessarily take it without a grain of salt, but if people just accept it, what we're telling the company is, hey, it's okay to not have the same things that somebody else is having, because we're kind of just very like brain dead people. It's just we're not brain dead people. We just let it happen because we just let it take. But
Together we vanquish.
I guess like the best way to describe it is, yeah, it's fine. You can fuck this over. It doesn't really matter. We don't really care.
Take 4.
And I don't think that feels right with me.
Shape the shapeless.
It doesn't. It does not feel right with me. That we're letting that happen.
The fruit of evolution. Synchronization.
Because I've been in that spot before where somebody just
Who's the caged bird now?
let something happen, and then everybody's just kind of screwed. I think I'm gonna need like a second to actually finish it off. That's the good thing is, right? For example, I have played a game called Ark Zero Ascended,
Hopefully, we'll
where
make new findings.
the entire community let them release a new game, and then proceeded to really forget about it. And in all honesty, it does not necessarily surprise me that this is the response that the community said. It's like, hey, it's okay, like we don't really care. They didn't say it directly. Of course, they wouldn't say it directly. Of course, they care. But 2 weeks ago, this was massive. Infinity Nikke, massive. Those two games were caught in fire. Like, there was the whole Nikke, Nikke games were just on fire. That's what it felt like. But the reality is most people aren't aware of it. Most people don't really care. People aren't in the social space of like gacha games. They just play the gacha game and just forget about it. But I think it's very, very like ludicrous because again, the place you find like the information was relatively hidden, and nobody really speaks about it because for starters, from what I hear, in the official Nikke Reddit, for example, they're shutting down any talks about, like for example, the CM getting quality of life improvements because again, it is necessary. It does bring kind of like a lot of the toxicity into the space, but it definitely feels like there's just not enough talk about like what's happening. Like these were uploaded, and here's the thing: I was waiting for the update, right, to see what would happen, and we did get some quality of life changes, but I don't know if those are the ones that really would matter. And again, in my opinion, there's like two things you can do, right? Because here's the thing, right? So one of the biggest things is that they change the molds, right? That is one of the things that they changed, in which you basically get a guaranteed mold. I believe after like acquiring enough of like failures from like SSR molds, I believe, not only including that, but those were like 100% guaranteed molds. Which again, it's like basically, hey, after getting like 50 things, you are guaranteed a character, right? Which, again, most games have that, but like through different styles. Nikke is definitely one of those games that just has that. And again, if you summon over and over again, because then the entire game is just getting duplicates. The gear is not even a part of like the thoughts. The entire game revolves around you maxing out a character like max limit breaking them, right? So getting them past the concept of even C6, which again they have higher odds for that reason because the rates on most gacha games are just pretty terrible compared to that type of stuff. Because if we look at this, right, so there is a 1.8% chance of getting a. Oh yeah, there's a 0.8% chance of getting a character. Yeah, the base resident drop rate is 0.8%. The average drop rate including guarantee is 1.8%. So realistically, it's 0.8%. The standard for this thing is 0.8%, which is kind of really low. So in Nikke, what they do is they basically like quadruple that, and it's 4%. Which I phrase like the rates are good. It's a 1%, so it's a 1 in 4 for like Shadowfest or the equivalent of a festival, very like anniversary kind of character. For Zany, it's the same thing, but like it's like a strong character. It's the same rate all around. That's kind of what it is for stuff like for Wuthering Waves, Genshin Impact, or HSR. Those games that just have like the really low, like you only need one dupe of a character for you to actually enjoy the character. But for you to have like, I guess, because you only need one copy realistically. Other than perhaps like bond stats, which matter a little bit. But again, it's kind of like the coalescing of just you can dupe up a character and it is definitely what I would consider a whale heavy game. Because here's the thing, right? I think there's different games, right, where you can dupe up a character, where you can dupe up a character,
The fruit let me be your blade. Let the winds roar.
and
Together we vent.
at max you need 7 copies, which is still kind of insane.
Feathers in
Take forward.
But it does not even reach like 1% of what Nikke does.
Tempest.
Because I believe the max limit break on Nikke is 11. So you need 1 copy.
In the sunlight.
And I believe after that 1 copy, you need to get, I believe it's like a total of 14-ish, is it? Or is it max limit break 7? I'm not sure.
be reduced to cinders.
Shape the shapeless.
I believe the entire methodology of Nikke is I believe is MLB 7. I might have to double check, but let me see. Let me pull it up right now.
Let's reach farther destinations together.
Okay, what is the max on the break? Yeah. Generally, you only need 4 copies in total to max limit break in Nikke by default. To get past the 160, well, most of us don't really care about it because if you've already gotten that a couple of times, you kind of just get like to level 200, which is kind of like the standard level cap for most Nikkes. Now, yeah, I believe it's generally you only need 4 copies in total to max limit break a character, which means you need 11 dupes of her to max the cores, right? Yeah, so 11 copies is what you need, right? That's what it was. It's 11 dupes, right? Now, even with the doubling the rate, which realistically is a bit more than double the rates of Wuwa. If you want to max limit break a character, we're talking. Zero thing. I guess it's max core, right? Which is basically you max statted your character. You wailed out. You like. You're good. You're like you'll never. It's the equivalent, right? So, max limit break is kind of the bare necessity to kind of get your characters up to like the bond level. So, if we take it directly right from like Yang Yang, right? Bond level is the maximum intimacy that you can have in a character. This is why like that's why Nikke, right? So and it has like stats behind it, which is kind of why it's like. Dupes are important in Nikke, like as a base stat. They are important in Nikke. Dupes are very important. They link up like it's a very small amount of stats, but their stats do it, which, in my opinion, is a little bit of an issue because, again, it definitely easier than some other games because like overall you can get like every character is unlockable from the standard banner. Like at one point, it will be in the standard banner. Other than like time limited Nikkes, which could actually be the difference between somebody like having like more levels, because I believe your like level in your account is on your like Nikke levels is based on the total Nikkes you have, including I believe the max score level, whatever. But so if we take that into account, we check the fact that you need 3 more copies on top of the base one. We're talking like fucking numbers because like I believe the cost is about the same as in Wuwa. Like hard pity Nikke is 200. I have reached that cap before. It definitely felt terrible to reach it.
Synchronization. Blue. Growth. Fruit of evolution.
And after reaching that,
Take forward. Let me be your blade. Serenade.
it definitely just made me not necessarily rethink my choices, but it made me rethink about how much investment some people go through, right? Because here I am, I spend the equivalent of I believe at least on my video I had like 50,000 gems. I literally spent like the equivalent of like 60,000 gems realistically. 60,000 on top of like the already spent like 200 whatever on like a previous banner. Like it's stupid numbers. Where you spend so much in-game currency to get one character that it's genuinely baffling, right? And it doesn't really matter because like the bond, which it kind of links some stats, is not super like extreme. But if you're like a new player and you get like 4 copies of that, you can basically power creep your game. Like you can basically stat through the game like with just 4 dudes, which is kind of insane. You can like hardcore like power through the game if you have a character max limit broken and like the core like 11 like total of 3 times, right? Where there's like some stupid stats.
The fruit of our life is in everything.
But even setting that aside,
Together we vanish.
which again it matters, it does matter because we're back in the topic where CN has some guarantees on dupes. So if CN has some guarantees on dupes, they are genuinely not only is it cheaper for them to play the game,
Let me be your blade.
it is easier for them to get to like higher levels in the game.
My blade yearns.
Where somebody that's playing global, that's like a new player may struggle to clear some content when compared to somebody like
Fruit of our citizens. Let the winds roar.
Together we vanish. Mind's eye.
sorry, like I got a little bit like distracted on this boss. Definitely easier than I would think for this, but again, it is a boss I like
In the sunlight.
took an unnecessary amount to fight before already,
Synchronization.
and definitely with the game being smoother on like the 800 by 600 thing. But yeah, no, like
Be reduced to
with the rates being not necessarily I would say as bad, but with the rates being as I want to say necessarily even worrisome.
Fruit of let me be your blade. Tempest.
Okay, yeah.
Shape the shapeless.
So with rates in mind, right?
together we vanish.
As somebody that likes to min-max my resources because I only have a limited amount of them,
In flame.
this is going to affect me more than any other player, and I say me as in a free-to-play player, right?
Take 4.
Because like other content creators can obviously just kind of get through it, right? Because you throw enough money in a problem, and it just fixes itself. There's no problem. Like, what problem are you talking about?
Synchronization.
Beckon the divine flame. Sever.
Bloom. Photosynthesis. I can use some fertilizer.
Well, that kind of hurt it. I didn't expect that one.
Let me be your blade. Storm, hear my command.
This is a hard boss, by the way. It's just they let you. They don't have as much health, but it does hurt. Like, quite a bit. So if you make a mistake, it does hurt.
Grow for me. Bask in the sunlight. The fruit of let me be your blade. Synchronization.
Perish. in
Ooh,
whose
that did
cage
kinda hurt.
guard now.
Listen up. The fruit of evolution. Shape the shapeless.
Together we vanish.
But yeah, it will basically affect a lot of free-to-play players. Given the fact that it's not. And here's the thing, right?
My blade
Even the fact that most of us players that just don't spend money on it, right? Have to already like manage your resources. If we hear like, hey, there might be an update that basically could like triple the resource gathering efficiency, why wouldn't you wait until an update?
Mind's eye. Be reduced to cinders.
And that's a big if, because it's not guaranteed to even come over here.
Listen up. Let the winds roar. Synchronize.
Together we vanish.
Bloom. The fruit of evolution. Let me be your blade. Precipitant.
Golly gee, it feels so good nice next to the Dasha though.
Shape the shapeless.
Together we vanish. My blade yearns.
The fruit of ever bask in the sunlight.
But again, it might just me just like genuinely a little bit overthinking about it, because most people already got it. But at the same time, it is definitely a worry that I have as just. I want to just say it's like the small economic creator, but just as somebody that's just has to manage his resources a lot better, right? And that's just like I think in my opinion like one of the heavier topics, right? That I think a lot of people just kind of avoid it, and actually not even avoid. It's just people just forget about it. Like it's been 2 weeks. Like why am I like getting fussed over? And the reason I'm fussing over is pretty simplistic. It's a big deal that we could double to triple our resource efficiency. But the developers are not really releasing that because they quote unquote. If I remember correctly, let me pull it up. I believe this is kind of like the biggest pile of dog shit that I fucking could figure out. And again, I'm not trying to doom post. I really am not. I could not give a fuck, man. But here's the thing, right? When we're talking about resources that I have a limited amount of, and I can't use them because I'm waiting for an update. Because I've done that before in other games, right? Where if you ever waited for like something to maybe like a bug that is absolutely just destroying like your resources because sorry guys, we have to give compensation because there's like a bug where instead of being like 10% chance, it's like 1% chance of dropping an item. So you just wasted my time is what I've been hearing. So I asked for that stuff. We're giving you back like 500 500 cents or something like that. Oh lordy. The game's starting to bug out a little bit. But yeah, no, like take for example, right? So, take for example this, right? So, in my opinion, everybody should like, and I stand by this fact because I do this myself, right? So, in the world, there is even in Wuwa, there is a reason why you shouldn't use up your resources just instantly, and the reason behind it is because is because there is a different amount of rewards you get per tier. And may not necessarily say it in some cases, but if we look at like take for example like the simple like hard just difficult boss. This is one of the daily bosses that you have to do, right? For ascension mats. This is a lore like of the night. One of the things they don't tell you in this game, and again, I guess not necessarily they don't tell you that. I believe most of us kind of knew indirectly, but the rewards increase over time based on your account level. If you're in Cell Phase 1, you're not getting as much of these cleansing conches compared to when you're at Soul level 8. And each level may necessarily increase the amount you get, but it does increase something. And that's kind of where the issue lies at. If you have to wait until like the last one to kind of really consume your stamina items, because most of us have either like stamina somewhere, or if we have like say for example if we have I think we've played what do we call it? Let me see. I'm just trying to find it. I think it's like a pretty simple thing. Like you don't want to use up your resources for no reason. That's kind of where we're at, right? Is it here? Yes, right here. Yeah. So crystal solvent. This is one of those items. This is essentially like a stamina potion. This stamina potion is very important because it allows me to do. It allows me to not only save my stamina. In the long term manner, so I can maybe I'm not feeling like grinding every other day or every single day, or maybe I just need like 200 mats that like I just could not farm in a day to maybe upload a video, maybe talk about a character, maybe try and see if I can get some echoes for this particular type because that's what happens a shit ton of the time. I wouldn't necessarily say I farm them, but if I go out of my way to just do something that's like upgrading my skills, or maybe there's a weekly boss that I just completely forgot to do this week, or just ran out of stamina that I completely forgot to do, and I just don't have any backup stamina, or I just don't have any stamina on my thing. Because again, this is a limited resource. This is also a limited resource. I can have up to 480, right? I can have up to 480. We consume this first, which is fine. This is fine. You consuming this, it's whatever. When I run into this, right? When I play the game, my entire existence is managing resources and playing the game. That is actually what most games are. A management of resources and making sure you don't screw yourself over in the future.
Make it fast.
I gathered enough resources that I could just play the game in its entirety, just enjoy and just sit back and relax. Wuwa allows me to do that because it just has a shit ton of resources that I've gathered passively, and I love Wuthering for this. Because here's the thing, right? So we have all these things. I have like thousands and thousands of these crude rings, well, like this, essentially just essential materials to upgrade my characters, right? I have a shit ton of these, and even some of these says I have materials on boxes to upgrade these things. I have these premium things. I have these Armor Echoes. They're just like, okay, let me get something from this particular thing, and I can enjoy my day. I can do that. That is the entire purpose of that. I believe I can claim this. Let me double check. Yeah, I can still do this. It actually... What? I thought it didn't actually give me this. What? No. I thought we had a little time on that. Whatever. But again, many resources, many things to manage. I don't understand some of these things that I have in my inventory. But again, a lot of these things, you have to make sure that you don't spend them all at the same time. Because one day you'll find yourself, oh, hey, I spent too much oscillated coral. Now I don't have enough materials to exchange in the store. What am I going to do? I guess I have to go summon a little bit. And that's what you end up doing, right? So I have 1,000 oscillated coral. I use this every 45 days to get Radiant Tides, 14 Tides, Luster Strike. It's about 500 a pop of these. I wouldn't necessarily recommend these unless you're like extremely like extra of these. These ones are cool. They're not bad. But unless you're like extremely in need of like extra pulls because okay, Let's like because again, what you indirectly do with this, right, is you indirectly get afterglow coral, which is more important than oscillated one, because you can directly or yeah, you can directly get more summons of each one of these types, right? For the important ones. So you can essentially convert 7 of these to maybe, so this is a fat maybe, 2 or 3 of these. If you're lucky, 3. The reason it's 3 is because if you have a character duped up once at least, you get, I believe, 30. I believe if it's maxed out, it might be, I think, 50. I'm not entirely sure on that. But you get pulls back, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I believe it's 5 upon getting, like, a dupe of, like, Yang Yang at this point. Because that's just kind of how it goes. You get, like 5 of those. 5 of the Afterglow Coral. Which is basically not quite as good as one extra copy. But it's about, but basically, like, 60, like, 50% of a copy. About 60%, you think. And again, all this has to be managed. You know, like, nobody tells you, right? Nobody tells you, like, hey, convert your standard summons into limited time summons. Nobody tells you this. You just figure it out. That's just something most of us kind of assume, most of us go through. And again, this is a long rant. I guess this is like a ranty thing. So I don't want to go through like the story with you or beat the boss. So that's kind of what I'm like yapping about. But this goes back to Nikke. Now, why would they make the decision to just not throw some more quality of life updates? And realistically, it looks bad on you if you kind of just throw in everything that we were asking now, because it looks like you either had it pre-ready. It would make them, oh hey, they didn't. They actually already had it ready. They just haven't given it to us, or oh, it was just waiting an update, right? Which I waited for the update. We got some quality of life updates. Now it looks like they're skimming out on us, basically. They basically added an add to the cart button, which is not really an add all to the button. Is you still have to select it, which is kind of the funny shit to me. It's definitely easier because you don't have to double click, right? It'd be like, basically it'd be like, item exchange should be like, you can click on this, right? We're gonna go to the lowest one, right? I guess let's go to point shop, right? I don't want to use the actual important currency. So it'd be like this, right? So say you want this item, you click on this. There's like a purchase all button. You click on that purchase all button. You click on something. You click on something. And then you click on something, and then you click buy on the bottom. That's what you do. Now, normally what you'd have to do is the same as this, where you have to click on this, you select the amount, or you just kind of click on this and then confirm the amount, and then you're done. You used to have to do that like this, like one time, and then there's another time you click that, and then another time and you click that. It was some pretty simplistic, but between each thing, since it is everything you do is connected to the server to make sure you're not hacking, because that's what most games do. It's an online service. They don't want you to accidentally get too much of a currency, so they have to validate it. So every time you buy something, you send essentially a request to a server to ensure that you get an item back, and then the servers verify like, hey, this is the request you sent. Here's the receipt, and the receipt gives you the access to the item. Like if we take for example this, right? So let's buy this, right? This thing, that purchase item, it took about probably less than a second to verify that's what I got. Less than a second. But it still takes time. And there's a reason behind it. It's easy to cheat games otherwise. Most games don't have that, but if you're running on like a lower end device, you can definitely feel that. But setting that aside, this is where I'm going to end the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. enjoy this video. I will probably be uploading this probably something this week again, just because of my schedule and stuff. So it might not be necessarily PP Saturdays. It might be PP Friday, quote unquote. I'll be uploaded Saturday, but we'll see. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Have a good one and stay solid. Bye bye. And again, thanks for watching my yap. This is more necessarily just I already did my dailies. I gotta just log in and play the game. This is what I wanted to do. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. And again, have a good one and stay solid.
Plan with
And yeah,
convention,
Kurt if he has someone
then
crazy.
The power to split
Bye bye.
and merge matter.